Is a called strike from German. Williams, the University of South Carolina softball commitment. She's in the 11th grade, so she's got 1 year of high school remaining. But once she graduates from Palmetto, she'll move down to Columbia and play for the Gamecocks. 10 home runs this year for Williams, including 3 in one game in these state playoffs. Williams thought she had a walk right there, but the pitch called a strike on the outside corner, so it's full here on Victoria Williams. Her mother's a principal at a local elementary school here in Williamston, and there's a swing and a miss, strike 3. SCHSL German will be congratulated by her teammates for getting a very difficult out to begin this ball game. Now the batting order here for Palmetto, the Mustangs. Victoria Williams, Brittany Houston, Emma Ogburn. Rector hit the big home run to provide the only run of the game on Monday night. Bullock, Browning, Ford, Henderson, and Ellison. Browning batting 6th is the designated player, and she will bat for the pitcher, Tabitha Allen. Brittany Houston, your hitter. 1 ball and 1 strike here on Houston. Houston, the leading scorer on the Palmetto basketball team that won a region championship this past year. The first ever region title for the Palmetto High girls basketball team, from what I'm told. And Houston, just a 10th grader, playing shortstop tonight. A ball and 2 strikes is the count. The wind and the 1-2 from German. Blazing fastball came in down low. Level to count here, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Now German getting the sign from Dallas Rowell. And that last pitch fouled off. So the count stays 2 balls and 2 strikes on Houston, who was 0 for 4 at the plate in game 1. Game 1 was a classic, a purest delight. 1-0 the final. A very well played softball game, and there's a called strike for the out. German gets the strikeout of Brittany Houston, got her looking, and very quickly SCHSL German has struck out the first 2 batters. Here's the Dillon Wildcats defense, their first ever appearance in the state championship round. German and Rowell, the battery. Hamer at first, Covington, Callahan, and Price, along with Drake, Grimsley, and Samuel. 2 away for Emma Ogburn, the 10th grader, playing catcher. And she turns the shoulder out of the way of that first pitch from German. And the count is 1-0. Next pitch, hit foul. The 1-1 missed for ball 2. Rector on deck. Rector hit leadoff in game 1. And she has been moved to the cleanup spot tonight. Rector has been very productive in these playoffs. 3 critical home runs for Palmetto during their run to the championship series. In fact, Palmetto had to come from out of the losers bracket in both the district championship and the upper state championship to reach the state finals. 3-1 to count. German backed off of the rubber for a moment. And now the 3-1. Grounder knocked down by Hamer, and Hamer got to the bag in time. Nice play, Darby Hamer at first base for the Dillon Wildcats. And we played 1 inning here in Williamston, South Carolina. We're at Palmetto High School for game 2 of the 2A softball championship. No score here in Williamston. Yeah, I need to see home. Yeah, it's fine, man. If anybody else comes in, I ain't able to see the play. See, you're good right where you are, man. Emerson Phillips on the South Carolina High School League Network with you. Glad you're with us for Game 2 of the Softball State Championship here in Class 2A. Palmetto beat Dillon 1-0 in Dillon on Monday night of this week. So we're playing Game 2 tonight. Palmetto victory will give them the 2A state crown here in 2012. A Dillon victory will force a third and deciding game coming up on Friday night. That game, if necessary, will be played at a neutral site, likely in the Columbia area. So here's Dillon with the cleanup hitter, Rebecca Callahan. Callahan, 2 for 4 in Game 1. She laced a double to right center in the first inning of that game and had a single later in the contest. And Callahan was also shaken up in Game 1 on the single that she hit in her last at-bat. There's a sharp grounder, and it's knocked down by Bullock, and she'll pick it up and make the put out for 1 out. Callahan, you see her running a little bit gingerly there. She pulled, I don't know if it's the hamstring or perhaps a groin muscle, trying to leg out that single in her last at-bat in Game 1. She went down right as she crossed the bag and had to leave the ball game. So we were not clear if she would play tonight. She is in the lineup, but clearly not quite 100%. So she's put down for the first out of the top of the second inning. That brings up Darby Hamer playing first base for the Wildcats tonight. Hamer had 1 hit in Game 1. She was 1 for 4, but struck out 3 times, batting .374 on the year coming into this championship series. First pitch was a strike, and the next pitch comes in low for ball 1. 1 ball and 1 strike on the number 5 hitter in the Dillon lineup. It's Darby Hamer. She's in the 11th grade. Hamer pitched a beautiful game the other night. Both pitchers pitched outstanding on Game 1. Hamer really made 1 mistake all night, and Ryan Rector drove it out of the ballpark in the top of the 8th to provide the only offense of the night, the only scoring of the game. Really a shame that either team had to lose that game. Both teams played so well. Rector's home run in the top of the 8th, first pitch of the top of the 8th inning, was the difference in that contest, and that's what separates these two teams to this point in the series. Hamer really hit some balls hard on Monday night, but she had trouble putting them in play. She smashed several balls foul on Monday night and has just been a little bit out in front of Palmetto pitcher Tabitha Allen. So here's the 1-2 from Allen, swung on and missed. For out number 2. Give you that Palmetto infield again. Bullock at first, Ellison at second, Houston at short, Williams at third, Henderson in left, Rector in center, Bell forward and right. Emma Ogburn is behind the plate, and it is 11th grader Tabitha Allen pitching once again tonight for Palmetto. Taylor Price, your batter, sophomore third baseman, and she fouls that first pitch off. So the count is 0-1. Boy, I tell you what, these folks over here in Williamston are excited about Palmetto High School softball. We got here a couple hours before the start of the game, and the tailgate was well underway. The grills were cooking. They had dogs and burgers going on the grill. I know some of our crew got in on that action. And the folks over here at Palmetto very hospitable to us this afternoon, as they were in Dillon on Monday. It's a special time for these two schools. First time that either school has made it to the state finals. And we have had a wonderful series to this point. The 0-1 pitch to Price hit well, and a lazy liner caught at short by Brittany Houston for out number 3. Bottom of the second coming up here in Williamston. Palmetto High coming to bat. Yes, it'll be Bottom of the second here at Palmetto High School. We're 14 miles from Anderson, South Carolina. Also, from what I'm told, 14 miles from Greenville, South Carolina. We're in the northern portion of Anderson County for game 2 of this Class 2A softball state final. Palmetto leads Dillon 1-0. It's a best 2 out of 3 championship final. And it's 4, 5, and 6 hitters for Palmetto here in the second. Ryan Rector leads it off. And let me tell you about Rector. She has had an outstanding playoff run here. Big year all around for Rector. She's an SC Upstate softball commitment. She's also an 11th grader that has already made her college choice. She will play and study at SC Upstate over in Spartanburg after she wraps up her high school career. You see the numbers Monday night, 2 for 4 with the single and the game-winning home run that came on the first pitch in extra innings. Rector jacked it out of straightaway center on the first pitch of the 8th inning, and that was the only run of the ball game. Rector also made a nice play in center field when Callahan had doubled to the fence. When Dillon had a runner on first in the first inning, Callahan had a double to the fence in right center. Rector tracked it down, hit the cutoff man, and a perfect relay throw home to gun that runner out who was trying to score from first. And that was the closest Dillon would come to scoring in the ball game. There's a line drive single into center, and Rector's got herself another base hit. 3 hits and 5 trips to the plate in his championship final for Ryan Rector. We have our first base runner here in game 2. Comes with nobody out in the bottom of the second, scheduled for 7 innings here. That'll bring up Bullock, the first baseman. Bullock 1 for 4 with a single Monday night. Squares the bunt. It's in front of the plate, and that's in trouble. That's in no man's land. And look at Rector heading for third. Safe at third. That's just alert base running by Ryan Rector. Never hesitated turning second base. Never broke stride. And slid in ahead of and underneath that throw. I think the throw may have beaten her to the bag, but obviously the tag must be applied. No force out there, so Rector alertly takes an extra bag for Palmetto. And the Mustangs threatening here in the bottom of the second. Some of those little tappers out in front of the plate can be tough. Now wild pitch, and sliding in safely is Rector for the first run. It's interesting that both these teams are power hitting teams. 19 home runs this year for Dillon High School. Palmetto with 18 home runs this year, and Palmetto scoring the first one with a little bit of small ball here in the second. A single to center, a little tap in front of the plate that proved to be a tough play. Rector alert base running, takes third, and then the wild pitch. Rector comes in to score. And Bullock moved up to third on that play. Bailey Browning, your batter here for Palmetto. And the count is 3 balls and no strikes on Browning. Left-handed hitter for Palmetto, and there's ball 4. So they'll set up a force at second with the walk to Browning. And we'll see what Bell Ford can do here for the Mustangs, batting 7th in this Palmetto lineup. Ford 0 for 2 with a walk in game 1, squaring to bunt and missed it. There's Bullock, your runner at third. Browning took off with that last pitch, so she is in safely at second. Second and third now for Palmetto. Browning the runner at second, Bullock the runner at third. A ball and a strike to Bell Ford. Ford took a big cut, but German blew it by her. It's 1 and 2. now the 1-2 offering. Fouled back. Dale Ford playing in right field again tonight for Palmetto High School. 31-6 on the year coming in. Dillon comes in with a record of 27-4. Down low from German, even to count here, 2 balls and 2 strikes. We're in the bottom of the second inning. Palmetto already with 1 run in. Threatening for more with runners second and third. Now the 2-2. Breaking pitch must have been inside. And German is now run it full on Bell Ford. Payoff pitch on the way. Popped up. German makes the play. Tough play for her. She had to move back behind the circle. A little bit of an awkward play for German there, but she was able to make the play. And a very important first out for Dillon in the bottom of the second. Browning remains your runner at second. Bullock the runner at third. Infield charging in as Tiffany Henderson stands in. Henderson watched ball 1. Very wide stance up there at the plate for Henderson. 1-0 pitch. Roller out to second, fire it in. Covington out at home. Rowell dropped the mitt down on that base runner to get the out, and we got 2 away in the bottom of the second. Bullock thrown out trying to score. So first and third for Palmetto, but 2 away now for the left-handed hitting Brooke Ellison. Brooke's a 9th grader. German's first pitch in the dirt, blocked nicely by Rowell. Tell you what, if Dillon could get out of this spot with only 1 run in for Palmetto, I think they'd be very pleased with that at this point. The 1-0. Missed up high, 2-0 to count. Wind blowing out to straightaway center. We haven't had much wind today, but it does kick up every now and then, and it is blowing straight away out to center field. Another pitch up high from German. 3-0 here on the number 9 hitter, Brooke Ellison, and German would be wise to try to get Ellison because Victoria Williams, with her 10 home runs, is on deck for Palmetto. There's a strike from German, 3-1. Henderson, the runner at first. It's Browning, your runner at third. Now, Shaquela German's 3-1 pitch, swung and missed. Work it full now on the Palmetto second baseman, Brooke Ellison. Ellison 0 for 2 with the walk in game 1. That was a pitcher's duel in game 1. Just an epic matchup in game 1. And there is the strikeout by Shaquela German to get Dillon out of a pickle here in the bottom of the second. We'll step away from Palmetto High School in Williamston, South Carolina. Top of the third is coming up. Welcome back. Emerson Phillips with you on the South Carolina High School League Network. This is game 2 of the best of 3 state championship series. Palmetto in the red tops with the gray pants, and the Dillon Wildcats from the PD wearing the black and yellow. It's already been a big spring for Dillon High School sports. Their girls track team won the 2A state championship just this past weekend over at Perrone Stadium in Columbia. Dillon head football coach and athletic director Jackie Hayes has won a couple of state titles here in the last few years for Dillon High School. Coach Hayes also a state legislator. That's a fair ball down the left field line. And alertly getting it in quickly is Tiffany Henderson out there in left. She ended up in foul ground down there in the corner and was able to get that ball in quickly and hold Samuel to the long single. But Dillon has its first base runner. Samuel's been terrific. She is now 3 for 4 in the series, 2 for 3 in game 1 with a couple of singles. And now she starts the second game with another single, and she has raised her average over 400 on the year. Now it's the catcher, Dallas Rowell. Rowell 0 for 3 in game 1, and this ball hit to second. They will not have the play on the runner, but they'll get the out at first. Brooke Ellison charged in, knew she did not have time to get Samuel on the force out, so she took the out at first base. And Samuel moves into scoring position now for Dillon. One away for the number 9 hitter, Michaela Drake. Drake 0 for 3 Monday night. Number 6 on her jersey. Low pitch, rolled up the third baseline. That ball's foul. It's a young Dillon team. Only one senior in the lineup again tonight. Drake looks at a called strike. And she is behind in the count. 0-2 now, facing Tabitha Allen. Allen went the distance for Palmetto in game 1. 0-2 pitch hitter. And that's a break for Dillon. An 0-2 pitch bounced in there and rolled up the thigh of Michaela Drake. So she is now aboard. Samuel remains your runner at second. She reached on a single. And now big trouble here, potentially for Palmetto, Shaquela German. Maybe the premier power hitter in South Carolina. Just a 9th grader. Led the state in home runs much of the year with 9 long balls, 45 runs knocked in for German. They call her Q, or Quayla. And she is in position to do some damage here. Should see some strikes from Tabitha Allen. Perhaps not. No, they're going to put her on base. Palmetto did on that at-bat with German exactly what they did on Monday night. They did not give her anything to hit, and they just allowed her to take her base. So the bases are full of Wildcats here in the top of the third with Palmetto on top 1-0. And just one out for the number 2 hitter in the Dillon lineup, Shayna Covington. Pinch runner for German is number 3, Sharasia Samuel, another 9th grader. Palmetto turned 3 double plays in game 1. They turned 1 in the 4th, 1 in the 5th, and 1 in the 6th inning. And they just made defensive play after play. And they got the home run from Rector in the 8th. Just an epic game Monday night in game 1 of this series. Ball 1 to Covington. Good contact hitter at the plate here for Dillon. And that pitch in there for a strike, so it's 1 ball and 1 strike on Dillon's second baseman, 10th grader Shayna Covington. Now the 1-1. in there for a called strike. The home plate umpire giving a bit of a delayed strike call, so I'm having to wait on his signal. A ball and 2 strikes on Covington. Tara Grimsley on deck. Comebacker. Home for 1 out. They got the force. And there again, Palmetto got something they could work with right there, and they're able to get the force out at home. So Covington reaches on the fielder's choice. Samuel moves up to second. Drake, your runner at third, but there are now 2 outs in the inning. And the batter is Grimsley. 1 for 3 with a walk in game 1. Swings at the first pitch. Lazy pop-up left side will be caught by Palmetto shortstop Brittany Houston. So Dillon loaded the bases with 1 out and is unable to score, and Palmetto holds on to a 1-0 lead, moving to the bottom of the 3rd here on the SCHSL network. Bottom of the 3rd, Palmetto leading Dillon 1-0. And it's the top of the order here for the Mustangs. Victoria Williams, a strikeout victim in the 1st inning. She had 3 home runs in 1 game against Mid-Carolina during the district playoff, and Williams has been outstanding. She'll play college softball at the University of South Carolina in a couple of years. She's only in the 11th grade. The count is 2-0 here on Williams. German just missed outside for ball 3. Top of the order, Williams, Houston, and Ogburn for Palmetto. And there's ball 4 for Victoria Williams. She walked 4 times in game 1. They pitched to her leading off the bottom of the 1st in this game, and German struck her out. So Williams aboard to lead off the bottom of the 3rd. And that brings up Brittany Houston, the Palmetto shortstop. Struck out looking back in the 1st inning. In fact, German struck out the first 2 Palmetto hitters of the ball game. But Palmetto would put a run on the board in the 2nd. This pitch bunted and popped up into the air, and Hamer, the first baseman, came in to catch it. And Williams alertly stayed close to the bag to avoid the double up. One away for Emma Ogburn. Ogburn 0 for 1 here in game 2. German's first pitch fastball hit right to the first baseman Hamer. She'll throw down, try to get the double play, not in time. But they do get the 2nd out. Ogburn retired, 3 unassisted. And that will move Victoria Williams into scoring position for Ryan Rector. Rector easily the most productive hitter in this series.
Excuse me, ma'am. I'm sorry, can you just
Ball one here to Rector. Single, took second on a wild pitch. Actually took two bases on the wild pitch. She went from first to third on the wild pitch. And later came in to score. Beg your pardon, Rector singled and then took third on an infield hit, a little tapper right out in front of the plate. She took two bases on that little tapper right out in front of the plate and then scored on the wild pitch. That's the only run of the ball game. The 2-0 pitch, down low, ball three. We had rain most of the afternoon over at Dillon on Monday, but we were able to get the ball game in on a very wet field. There's another pitch that gets by Rowell, and Rector taking the wide turn at first, and she'll cruise on into second. So Palmetto will have second and third now. They're going to send Rector will jog over and throw the elbow pad to the Palmetto first base coach, and that is Valerie Hosler. So second and third now for Palmetto. Boy, Rector's been on base this whole series, it seems like. She's 3 for 5 with a walk. 2 singles and a homer in the series for Rector. Strike one to Landon Bullock. And a fast pitch in there for a called strike. Bullock, one of the top students here at Palmetto High School. She's at the top of her class GPA-wise, and she lifts a fly ball into center field, and it'll be caught by Tara Grimsley for Dillon. So we played 3 complete in Williamston, South Carolina. Palmetto leading Dillon by a score of 1-0, and Palmetto leads the series 1-0. A Palmetto victory tonight will give them the 2A softball state championship. We'll have more right after this. Yeah. Top of the fourth, scheduled for 7. You see just the one hit in the ball game, and Palmetto able to turn that into a run. Callahan, Hamer, and Price for the Dillon Wildcats. Dillon coached by Cheryl Carter, a Dillon High School grad. First pitch swung on. It's a tough play and back of the bag and speared by Brittany Houston on the dead run. One pitch, one out in the top of the fourth. Callahan has been solid at the plate. And she is retired to begin this inning. So now it'll be Darby Hamer. Hamer looks at called strike one. She's had a tough go of it at the plate, although she did have a hit in game one. But she has struck out every other time up. 4 Ks in the series for Hamer, the 11th grader. But Hamer pitched a terrific game. Here's another smash. Boy, I mentioned it. Hamer hits the balls hard but foul in game one. I mean, she hit several balls right on the button. I mean, smashed them, but has not been able to put one in play, except for the one hit. And there's a fair shot, and that's caught in right field. Bell Ford there. She had a range toward the right field line, several steps to make the play. So Hamer hit that ball well to the opposite field, but hit it right in the direction of Bell Ford. So bring up Taylor Price now with 2 outs. Price wearing number 8. That pitch had some action on it. We could see it from the view of our center field camera. But it did miss for a ball, so it's 1 ball and no strikes here on Price. Dakira Samuel on deck for Dillon. Next pitch came in down low. Just a light wind blowing. Boy, it was hot when we got here this afternoon, and the temperature has dropped a little bit. It was hot in the sun about 4 o'clock this afternoon. Sharp grounder to short. Houston guns it across to Bullock, and the side is retired in the top of the 4th inning. Your score, Palmetto 1, Dillon nothing. In the 2A softball state championship final, game 2 of the series here in Williamston, South Carolina. Back here on the campus of Palmetto High School. Each team with just the 1 hit. Dillon loaded the bases in the 3rd, but was unable to score. They had the bases loaded, 1 out, but were unable to play to run. And Palmetto has had a couple of scoring opportunities as well. They had runners 2nd and 3rd with 2 outs in the last inning, but were unable to push a run across. Rector has scored the only run of the game. Left-handed hitter, Bailey Browning, the designated player. Young freshman for Palmetto leading off the 4th inning. Couple of balls here from Shaquela German. 2-0 to count here. So we get a look at the number 35 of Bailey Browning. Last pitch in there for a strike, so it's 2-1. Wind blowing out to center. Fast pitch swung on and missed by Browning. So it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Bottom of the 4th inning. And the next pitch low and outside, so it's full here on Browning. She was 0 for 4 in game 1. Walked, stole a bag, but was stranded in the 2nd here in game 2. Payoff pitch. Hit fair down the left field line. Oh, foul ball, beg your pardon. Okay, the umpire pointed to foul ground, but I obviously misinterpreted the signal there because that was a fair ball, and that's a single for Bailey Browning. Umpire ran over there and pointed toward foul ground, but clearly it was fair. And that'll bring up Belle Ford once again. Ford popped out to the pitcher. Her first time up tonight. 0 for 2 with a walk in game 1 of the series. This ball over the head of the right fielder Samuel will go to the fence. Around second, headed for third is Browning. And Browning will be held at third. Dillon gets the ball back into the infield. And a double to the right field fence by Belle Ford. It's just the third extra base hit of the series for either team. And a raised fist from Belle Ford. So Palmetto threatening again here in the fourth, already on top 1-0. And this is Tiffany Henderson, the batter. The pitch inside from German for ball 1. Henderson in the 12th grade. Reached on a fielder's choice in the second and was 0 for 4 in game 1. There's Browning, your runner at third. Belle Ford, left of your screen, runner at second. The hitter is Henderson. Pitch in the dirt. It's 2-1. You see the fans all around the ballpark here. We got fans literally around just about every inch of the fence, and that pitch hit Tiffany Henderson. I believe it got her on the hands. She tried to lean back out of the way of it, and I believe it hit her on the fingers. And that was smart, but Henderson will not mind at all because Palmetto has loaded the bases with nobody out. Henderson, Ford, and Browning, your runners, as Cheryl Carter comes out of the Dillon dugout to talk to her defense, and now Palmetto will huddle up right in front of their dugout on the third base side and talk a little strategy here. All smiles in that huddle for Palmetto. The batter is Brooke Ellison, the 9th grader. Struck out her first time up, and ball 1 from Shaquela German. The wind has died down. The sun has moved behind a cloud partially. And the temperature much more pleasant now than it was just about 90 minutes ago. Ball 2 from German. With no place to put Brooke Ellison, the number 9 hitter in the Palmetto lineup. And the Gamecock softball commitment, Victoria Williams, is on deck. Ball 3. German winds the 3-0 pitch right down Main Street. Ellison appeared to be taking all the way on a 3-0 count. See what she does here. 3-1. German's pitch popped up. Shallow left field. Caught for the out by Drake. And that ball not deep enough for Browning to try to tag. Certainly no reason to take a chance for Palmetto. That's just the first out of the inning. And that'll bring up Victoria Williams. She of the 10 home runs on the season. And I'll tell you what, if German is not the top power hitter in the state, this young lady right here might be, just might be, Victoria Williams. Pitch outside. They're going to be very careful with Williams, even with the bases loaded. You know, you give Williams something over the fat part of the plate, and she could make this a 5-0 ball game with one swing. The 1-0 pitch. Trying to nip at the outside corner, just a couple of inches off the outside of the plate for ball 2. Now the fastball cut on and missed by Williams. Nice pitch by German. Had that one up in the strike zone, and I believe Williams could not quite catch up. 2 balls and 1 strike. Sacks full of Mustangs. Next pitch popped up. Will it stay in play for Rowell? Oh, brother. Rowell and Price were there. That ball landed inside of the fence. Nobody made the grab. And you really hate to give Victoria Williams free swings. 2 balls and 2 strikes to count. And that pitch up high. So the count is full. And Williams will have the green light here. Swung on and missed. Boy, huge strikeout for Shaquela German and the Dillon Wildcats. Twice tonight, German has struck out Victoria Williams. So Palmetto had loaded them up with nobody out, and now German has come back to get the next 2 hitters. The fly out to left by Ellison, and now the strikeout of Victoria Williamson. And here's a grounder to short and a flip to third for the force out. Callahan fielded and threw it to Price. 6-5 on the force out. And Dillon gets out of a bases loaded, nobody out jam. Palmetto, however, still leads 1-0 in the ball game and 1-0 in this best of 3 series. One run on 3 hits for the Palmetto Mustangs. No runs on 1 hit for Dillon. And the Dillon Wildcats, your lower state champions for 2012, still yet to score in this state championship final. They were beaten 1-0 in game 1 over at Kiwanis Park in Dillon on Monday night on an 8th inning home run by Palmetto center fielder Ryan Rector. Rector slapped the first pitch of the 8th inning out of the ballpark over the center field fence, and line drive in the center will be caught. 1 pitch, 1 out. Samuel, again, the batter, and she hit it well for Dillon. I've been very impressed with Dakira Samuel. Just the 2nd time in the series that she has been retired. Batting in the number 7 spot in the Dillon lineup, and that'll bring us to Dallas Rowell. Rowell, the only senior in the Dillon lineup. Rowell took a foul ball off of her throwing hand, playing catcher for Dillon in game 1. She was a little bit shaken up. They had to delay the game for a moment, give her a free practice throws, allow her to shake that injury off, and she stayed in the game. So she's gutting it out for her ball club here. And We mentioned Callahan was injured, legging out a single in game one, and clearly she is not running very well tonight, or at least not full speed, I wouldn't say. Yet she has remained in the lineup for Dillon. All hands on deck in the state championship final. 1-2 the count here on Rowell. Rowell grounded out to second, her only time up. 2 balls and 2 strikes on the Dillon catcher. Tabitha Allen continuing to throw here for Palmetto. This pitch popped up. And foul ball. A lot of English on that ball. It landed a good 4 feet in front of home plate, but the backspin drew it right back into foul territory. So we'll have another 2-2 pitch coming here from Tabitha Allen as we check out Dallas Rowell. Home plate ump flashes the sign to the defense, 2-2. Flashed the count out there to the defense, held up 2 fingers on each hand, and that next pitch to the backstop. So Ogburn will move back to collect it and get it back out to Allen. Not a lot of room in foul ground here in high school softball. That's universal. Now the payoff pitch from Allen. Rolled, foul. Williams collects it in foul ground, so we'll have another payoff pitch here. Yes, sir, they got the tailgate started early today for state championship softball action here in Williamston. They even closed some of the local businesses, from what I understand, so that folks could come out for the ball game. And there's call strike 3, and that's all for Dallas Rowell. The population of Dillon, South Carolina, about 8,000 on the last census. And I was talking with some folks over here in Williamston tonight. They have 4 communities in this area. Pelzer, South Carolina, line shot is a fair ball. Have we had a call here? There's a little hesitation by the runner. They're going to call Drake back to the plate. I don't know that there was a definitive call made by our crew. So Drake ran. She sort of slowed down at first, and her coaches told her to run. So she kept going, and finally she has brought back Michaela Drake to hit her here for Dillon. So a couple of foul balls off the bat of Drake to make it 0-2. Pelzer, West Pelzer, Shetter, and Williamston are the 4 communities in this area. And the population of those 4 communities about 9,000 from what I'm told. Palmetto High School, the home of former Gamecock running back Derek Watson. Dillon High School, the home of former Clemson wide receiver Derek Hamilton, who played in the National Football League with the San Francisco 49ers. Count remains 0-2 here as Allen continues to work. Roller up the third baseline. Williams gloves and throws. That throw a little bit low and off the heel of the glove of Landon Bullock. And Dillon's got itself a base runner with 2 outs in the top of the 5th. Dillon fans clamoring for the Wildcats to get it started. They are still without a run in this series. We're in the top of the 5th inning of game 2 of this best-of-3 series for the state crown. Top of the order now, and Shaquela German is your hitter, batting .571 on the year. That was coming into the championship series. She was walked 4 consecutive times in game 1. They pitched to her to lead off the ball game today, and she bounced back to the pitcher. She's 0 for 1 with a walk here in game 2. And they're going to put her on again, it looks like. The 2-0 pitch, yeah, up high. They just not wanting to give German a chance to do the damage that everybody around here knows she's capable of. 9 homers, 45 runs knocked in on the year for SCHSL German. So German will move down to first, and Dillon now with a runner in scoring position. And Dillon has just not been able to produce a 2-out hit when they have had runners in scoring position off of Tabitha Allen. That's the bottom line. Pinch runner for Dillon, Sharasia Samuel, the young 9th grader. She's been running for German throughout the series. So we'll see if Covington can keep the inning alive. There's a foul ball collected by Coach Carter in the third base coach's box. See the numbers on Covington, 1 for 4 in game 1. She is 0 for 1 tonight, reached on a fielder's choice. This pitch hit to second, and up with it quickly, Brooke Ellison over to Bullock for the 3rd out. Still 1-0 Palmetto. Dillon strands a couple of runners in the top of the 5th, and the Lady Mustangs from Palmetto High will come to bat right after this. Three, 4, and 5 hitters for Palmetto here in the bottom of the 5th. Ogburn, Rector, and Bullock. Ogburn has grounded out to first twice in this game, and now she rolls one up third. And the home plate umpire threw both arms up into the air just as that ball was gloved by Taylor Price to indicate that it was a foul ball. So Ogburn will retrieve the bat, get herself a practice swing before standing back in. 10th grader here at Palmetto High, Emma Ogburn. Next pitch hit off the fist, it looked like, and popped over the Palmetto dugout on the third base side. So Ogburn again has to retrieve the bat. I had her 1 for 4 with a single in game 1. And the pitch went down low. So it's a ball and 2 strikes on Ogburn, batting third in the Palmetto lineup. There's a called strike. Another breaking pitch from German. I believe she pulled the string on that pitch and got Ogburn looking to start the 5th inning. 4 strikeouts. 5 Ks tonight for Dillon starting pitcher Shaquela German. One away for Rector. Rector has been a wrecking ball in this series. She has 3 hits. She has scored the only 2 runs of the series. There's only been 2 runs scored. Rector scored them both. Led off the 8th inning with a home run in game 1. And we were in extra innings. We play 7 innings in high school softball. So she hit that home run in the top of the 8th. And now she grounds out to third. Price with a good throw across to Darby Hamer. Rector started off game 2 with a single to center. And then went all the way around to third on an infield hit. A little tapper right out in front of the mound that was in no man's land. Dillon had no play. And Rector caught Dillon napping just a little bit. Was able to take 2 bases on that little tapper right in front of the plate. And then she scored on a wild pitch. And that is the only run of this second game. So Bullock is your hitter. Landon Bullock, one of 3 seniors in the lineup for Palmetto High today, and their head coach, Franny Calder. Franny grew up not far from Dillon. Franny Calder is from Latta, South Carolina. She's a Latta Viking. Graduated from Latta High, which is only several minutes away, about 5 minutes away from Dillon. Sharply hit grounder right to Covington, and Covington makes the good throw to Hamer for the 3rd out. So it's a 1-0 Palmetto lead. We move to the top half of the 6th inning. Dillon still seeking its first run of this championship final. My name's Emerson Phillips, and you're with us on the South Carolina High School League Network. Just 4 hits in this ball game, a 1-0 Palmetto lead. A Palmetto victory here in game 2 will give them the 2012 softball state championship in Class 2A. Dillon trying to force a 3rd and deciding game in this series that would take place on Friday at a neutral location. Line drive left field, base hit, and the Wildcats have a base runner to begin the top of the 6th inning. That was Tara Grimsley with a clean single into left to begin the 6th. She hit that ball right on the button. That'll bring up Callahan. Callahan 2 for 4 with a double and a single in game 1. She is 0 for 2 here in game 2. Showing bunt. Now she pulls the bat back. Allen fires. The 1-0 pitch, bunted. That's a fair ball. Oh, beg your pardon. Home plate umpire apparently it hit the batter. Must have hit the foot of Rebecca Callahan, or else that's a tough play for Emma Ogburn behind the plate. She has virtually no angle to throw to first there with the runner moving up with the batter moving up the first base line there. So And now Coach Calder coming out to talk with the umpire here to get the ruling. And that was a very brief conference. Coach Calder satisfied with the explanation that she received from our home plate umpire. So Callahan will dig back in, ready for a 1-1 pitch from Tabitha Allen. Bunted, and it squirted foul. It was fair for a moment, but that English kicked it into foul ground, spun it into foul ground. So now with a ball and 2 strikes, and Grimsley the runner at first, we'll see what Callahan can do. A .423 hitter on the year. And she has the only Dillon extra base hit of the series. The double in the first inning of game 1. Ground ball to second, to flip to Houston for 1, throw across, not in time on a great hustle play by the batter Callahan, and she goes down again. Dadgum, Callahan's had a tough go of it here in this championship final. Giving everything she's got, and the Palmetto player is going to drop to one knee here. A little show of respect for the injured Dillon player. I believe that could be the same leg that Callahan injured in game 1. Certainly can't say for sure, but we will get a timeout and we'll come back with this injury on the field. We'll be right back.
Sarah.
Callahan helped off the field for Dillon after being tended to for a moment. So Dillon has put freshman Taisha Jones in to run for her at first base. Callahan just reached on the fielder's choice and did a great job to keep Dillon out of a double play. It was almost a tailor-made double play ball, and Palmetto got the short throw to second to get the force out, and this pop-up is caught right in front of the chain-link fence by Palmetto catcher Emma Ogburn for the second out of the inning. So Dillon High School, the lower state champions here in 2012 with victories over Lake City and twice over Swansea. Then 2 victories over Andrews and 2 more over Hanahan to win the lower state championship. Dillon now down to its final 4 outs. There's a line drive base hit. Jones will take a turn at second and stop there. And Tiffany Henderson gets it back into Brittany Houston. So Dillon threatening again, another runner in scoring position, but 2 outs in the inning. And Dillon still seeking that elusive 2-out hit that could score their first run of the series. The base hit by number 8, Taylor Price. And here comes Dakira Samuel, who has been very productive at the plate. 3 singles in the series for Samuel, including 1 tonight. First pitch swinging and a high fly ball into straightaway center field. Drifting in and making the grab is Ryan Rector. So Dillon strands a couple of more runners, and we'll move to the bottom half of the 6th inning. 1-0 Palmetto. They're trying to wrap up the 2A softball championship here on the SCHSL network. Bailey Browning will lead things off for Palmetto High School here in Williamston, South Carolina. It's turned into a beautiful evening as the sun begins to set here in the upstate of South Carolina. Northern Anderson County is where we are. And Browning pops the first pitch out of play over into the spectators off of the left field line. Browning has not been retired tonight. Walked in the first, singled in the fourth, and was stranded both times. We've had 2 runs in the series, both of them scored by Ryan Rector from Palmetto. That's it, just 2 runs in the entire series to this point. Browning, a 9th grader, fouls another pitch off. It's a ball and 2 strikes. Huge turnout for this championship softball game today here at Palmetto High. I mentioned earlier they had the tailgate going early this afternoon. It's a good look at the crowd here, a community of about 9,000 people here, and most of them are here at the ballpark. Last pitch from Shaquela German. Missed for a ball. It's 2-2. And there's ball 3 with a fastball up high. Full count here on Bailey Browning. One of the local churches here in Williamston had a cookout over by the school, and the field is 100 yards or more from the schoolhouse proper. And one of the local churches came out. There's ball 4 to another trip on base for Bailey Browning. 3 trips up, 3 times on base for Browning here in game 2. The local church had the big grill going earlier, and boy, they fed scores of people on their own dime. Free hamburgers and dogs over there at the grill as I was pulling into the parking lot earlier. And you know, the SCHSL network crew ready to take advantage of free burgers and dogs at a moment's notice. Some of our crew was over there hanging out with some of the folks from Palmetto here. And we appreciate the hospitality that we received in both these communities here this week. Ground ball, second base. Covington will tag the runner, throw to first, double play, 4 unassisted to 3. Nice work, Shayna Covington. And that was Belle Ford who hit into the double play there. And that's the first double play that Dillon has turned in the series here. Palmetto turned 3 of them in game 1. And I'm here to tell you, they were some strange double plays. They were not your typical run-of-the-mill, 4-6-3 or 6-4-3 double plays. In the 4th inning, of game one. Palmetto turned a 5 unassisted to 4. There's a single in the right. Going to try to throw her out at first. Close play, but safe there is Tiffany Henderson. Boy, how about that rope of a throw by Tara Grimsley. She knew as soon as that ball was hit, she was going to try to gun Henderson out at first, and just missed doing so by about a half a step. Great effort by Grimsley trying to get Henderson, and I tell you what, had Henderson not been running full speed, she would have been gunned out on a clean hit to center. So that brings up the 9th grader, Brooke Ellison. She hits a pop-up in the foul ground here. In game one on Monday night, Palmetto turned a 5 unassisted, it was a 5-4 double play when Dillon had first and second, nobody out. They got a ground to third. Williams fielded, stepped on the bag, and threw to second for the force. Here's a blooper. Caught, I believe. Yes, sir. Great play in left field by Michaela Drake to snow cone that catch in shallow left and bring us to an end of the bottom of the 6th inning here. I'll tell you about these other Palmetto double plays. They turned 3 of them on Monday night. Dillon just got one in the last inning. And we move to the 7th inning. 1-0 Palmetto leading Dillon here in game 2. Welcome back. Dillon High School down to its final 3 outs. Tabitha Allen, the pitcher of record for the entire series for Palmetto High School, will try to capture the school's first ever softball state title if she can get 3 outs here in the 7th before Dillon can plate its first run of the series. That's exactly what we'll have. We'll have a Palmetto State Championship. 8, 9, and 1 hitters for Dillon. Rowell, Drake, and top of the order, Shaquela German. Breaking pitch. Called strike 1 on the outside corner to the right-hand hitter, Dallas Rowell. Rowell 0 for 2 tonight, 0 for 5 in the series. Allen looking into Ogburn for the sign. Another off-speed pitch, a little bit low. Boy, they called it a strike. Thought it was off the plate, but I stand corrected. And again, our home plate umpire has given us a delayed strike call on those called strikes. Ground ball back to the pitcher. Allen fields and throws to Bullock. 1 away. Now, Michaela Drake Palmetto defense has been terrific. 3 double plays turned Monday night. Told you about the 5-4 double play in the 4th. They turned a 1-6-3 double play in the 5th and a 5-2-3 double play in the 6th inning. Double plays of all varieties. Ogburn diving. Oh, and unable to hang on. Boy, a terrific effort by Ogburn. Ends up face down in the dirt. Yeah, he got a little dirt on the nose, maybe on the upper lip. Small price to pay for a chance to win your first state championship in school history. Might have a little scrape on the elbow there. Yeah, I believe Ogburn got some dirt in the eyes and on the face. So they're going to come out, bring the eye drops out and give her an eye wash. Clean sleeve, offered up by Coach Calder. Drake back in there, ready for a 1-1 from Tabitha Allen. Ogburn's fine, we're ready for ball. Low and in. 2-1 on Michaela Drake, the number 9 hitter, hit by a pitch in the 3rd, reached on an infield single in the 5th. So she has not been retired tonight. Next pitch, swung on and missed. And Drake will take a walk around and mull it over for a moment here before she gets back in there for the 2-2 pitch. Drake, a sophomore at Dillon High School. Next pitch, fought off and fouled off. We're in the top half of the 7th inning, scheduled for 7. With Palmetto leading this series 1-0. They can wrap up the title with a victory here today. Drake fouls another pitch, backing out of play. The 2-2 from Tabitha Allen. Swung and missed. 2 outs. Top of the 7th. Dillon down to its final out. And it'll be Shaquela German batting leadoff tonight. German has had, she batted 4 times. Or had 4 plate appearances in game 1. She's had 3 more in game 2, and she has walked 6 times. And they actually got her out to start the ball game on a comebacker to the mound. It's the only time I believe she swung the bat in the series. She hit a little grounder back to the pitcher. Couple of quick balls from Allen. Ball 4 to Shaquela German. So you put her on base and bring up Shayna Covington. Covington, normally the leadoff hitter. But moved down to the number 2 hole tonight because both coaches decided to put their power hitters in the leadoff spot after neither one of them saw a strike on Monday. Both teams intentionally walking the other team's power hitter in game 1. So both of them move the power hitters up to the leadoff spot tonight. Great minds think alike. Coach Carter and Coach Calder thinking along the same lines for tonight's game 2. Swinging. Yeah, nice job by Covington. She'll reach safely, and drifting away from the bag was Drake out there at second, trying to be aggressive here, but Drake's breathing hard out there at second. I think, yeah, the heart got to thumping right there. She knew that she took a wide turn at second and had to scamper back into the bag. So nice job by Covington on the infield hit to keep the inning alive here for Dillon. I don't know how many times Dillon's had a runner at second with 2 outs in this series. Must have been 4 or 5 occasions over the course of these 2 games, maybe more than that. But they have not gotten that 2-out hit. Grounder to third. Step on the bag. State championship in 2A softball belongs to the Palmetto High School Mustangs. Victoria Williams records the final out, and your 2012 Class 2A softball champions are the Mustangs from Palmetto High. Our congratulations to coaches Calder and Hosler from Palmetto. Congratulations as well to the lower state champions and the state runners-up from Dillon, Coach Carter and Coach Lane. An outstanding best-of-3 championship series won by the Palmetto Mustangs. Both games won by the final of 1-0. And both runs in the series were scored by Palmetto center fielder Ryan Rector. She homered in extra innings to give Palmetto the 1-0 win in game 1 on Monday night. And tonight she got a single, took 2 bases on the infield hit that followed, and scored on a wild pitch for the only run of the ball game. That came back in the 2nd inning, and Palmetto High School wins the state title in softball for the first time in the history of the school. We'll step away, and we will come back with the awards presentation here on the South Carolina High School League Network. My name is Emerson Phillips. Stay with us.
Crazy. Well, now I am here, guys. I know. Yeah, I heard. We didn't do a lot of things here in Dillon.
Hey, gentlemen, I was working with gentlemen, get a little step away.
You're going to do an interview. You should go behind but she don't want to get interviewed either. She should watch some news notes that we can see us behind us.
Yeah. Probably say something like, well, this is a great group of girls, you know, we work hard, you know, Miss America.
Yeah, pretty much. I wonder if the JVs haven't pulled up the playoffs are going to get a ring too. What? gets a medal too?
Can't tell him after the picture. They said nobody